This is why Joseph Parker is going to defeat Daniel Dubois on the Artur Beterbiev versus Dimitri Bivol 2 co-main event. And yes, I believe Parker will win. I believe he will win. I have big confidence in Joseph Parker. I believe he will defeat Daniel Dubois. And look, I think overall, Parker's going to be too smart for him. If I'm being completely honest here, I think Parker's too smart. I feel like when Daniel Dubois sometimes gets his moments, he doesn't think too much. And I think Parker and this Joseph Parker and Andy Lee's partnership, I have so much faith in, if I'm being completely honest. I have a lot of bloody faith in Joseph Parker and Andy Lee to get the plan right here. And I feel like Joseph Parker is going to approach the fight in a similar way to how we fought Wilder. And I also have a feeling that Joseph Parker is going to weigh in heavier than Daniel Dubois. Not too much heavier, but I feel like he might look to be the heavier man. So that way he will 100% be able to take center ring, leave space behind him, cut that ring off, back Dubois up, and be careful as well with the power of Dubois, because I think Parker's going to respect the power of Daniel Dubois from the off. And I think it's interesting as well because Parker's looking bigger and bigger and bigger. And I feel like that's going to play into effect. And I mean, people might say, oh, that might make him look slower, but he was big in the Wilder fight. He was big in the Zhang fight, but not bigger than Zhang. Either way, though, Dubois not bigger than Zhang. I feel like Wilder might, take a bit of the similar weight to what he went in against Zhang into this fight, if I'm being honest. And that could be interesting. I think Parker has got a very good jab, and I feel like his range management is getting better and better every single fight. And I feel like a thing about Daniel Dubois is that I feel like he struggles against the opponent with a good jab. We saw it against Usyk. We saw it against Joyce. Joyce literally jabbed Dubois' head off all fight and eventually broke his orbital bone. Also, as well, early on in the early stages of Hrgovic and Dubois, Daniel Dubois was really struggling against that lead hand and jab of Hrgovic and couldn't really figure out the lead hand for quite a bit. And also, as well, don't forget the headbutts in that fight. They did play a part in Dubois' favour. But yeah, I think for Parker, I think he's definitely got a better jab than Joyce. I think he manages range really, really well. I think Parker's got a better jab than Hrgovic as well. 100% he has. I think he manages range better than Hrgovic. He certainly manages range better than Joyce. I mean, people can say, oh, Dubois learned from that. Joyce lost it. And he has, 100%. But I think Parker is a smart boxer. He's not very flashy. He's just very good at the basics. And he can destroy you with those basics. He can you with the basics. He's very good at mastering those basics, Joseph Parker, and that's why he's good. Because I don't think the thing with Joseph Parker, I don't think he's amazing at just one thing. He's just very, very, very good all round, in my opinion. That's the thing with Joseph Parker. He's mastered his all-round game, and that's going to be something that Dubois struggles with. I think Parker's more well-rounded. He's got a more rounded game than what Daniel Dubois has. And I think that's going to show in Joseph Parker's favor this weekend. I think Parker's going to have to leave lots of space behind him. And I feel like if Parker can back Daniel Dubois up and make Daniel Dubois fight backwards, which I think he will. I think Parker is very capable of pushing Dubois back and making him fight backwards. Dubois not going to like that. I don't think Dubois can fight well backwards whatsoever. I think that is where Daniel Dubois is going to struggle if he gets pushed back, because he's not going to be able to generate the power off that back foot. For Daniel Dubois to generate his power, he needs to, be walking in with big punches and landing them. If he can't come forward and he's backed up and Parker can cut off the ring, which he does very well and which he has shown in his recent fights, Dubois is in trouble. At the end of the day, he is. And I just feel like Parker's very good at just being able to dictate the pace and slow it down. Parker doesn't really like to fight at a really high pace, but I feel like Parker is very good at slowing the pace of a fight down and, making it his fight. And by being confusing, by keeping you thinking. And I feel like that's going to be interesting here. But the thing with Dubois is he doesn't really fully think. And that's something that, is good for Daniel Dubois here. But I feel like once Parker catches Dubois walking into his shots, that is going to make Daniel Dubois, reset a bit, and and Daniel Dubois might realize something. Right, I do need to actually try and make adjustments here, but I feel like that will be difficult for Dubois to do. I feel like with Dubois, I feel like it'll be difficult for him to make adjustments in the moment. For Joseph Parker, I feel like as the fight goes on, him and Andy Lee will be able to make adjustments. There'll be, a plan A, plan B, plan C for Joseph Parker in there. For Daniel Dubois, I just think there's a plan A for him, and that's it. He's going to continue trying to do the same thing until he, gets what he wants to do. And I feel like that's going to be a big thing here, in my opinion. I think we're going to see a schooling from Joseph Parker. And I feel like once Parker's movement gets going, I think he's good. I think Parker's footwork's getting better and better. I think Parker's got better footwork than Dubois. And I feel like Parker moves in with the jab very nicely as well. And I feel like Parker picks his moments for his backhand nicely. And Parker can hurt you with his backhand. I don't think he's got one-punch knockout power, but he can hurt you with his backhand. We saw him stun Zhilei Zhang many times. We saw him wobble Deontay Wilder many times. So, and we've seen it in fights as well. Like we saw him drop Dillian White. We saw him be able to catch Joe Joyce with some big shots in their fight. So, Parker can hurt you. And Parker is a good, accurate puncher. That's a big thing about Joseph Parker. But that is also the same thing with Daniel Dubois. Dubois is also an accurate puncher. But I don't think Dubois sets up his moments. And I feel like someone like Joseph Parker is going to be able to read Daniel Dubois like a book as the fight goes on. I feel like early on, you never know. Dubois might get some success early on. But thing is with Parker, he's got a good chin. Parker is good at, sustaining damage. That is the thing with Parker. And Parker is good at being able to adjust his defense well and make sure he's not getting hit with those same shots. And that has changed a lot when Andy Lee's watching over him in that corner. I just feel like, I keep bringing up Andy Lee, but I rate him a lot as a trainer. And I feel like he's very good at making his fighters adjust in the moment. And that's going to play a factor here. For Daniel Dubois, he's probably... I feel like Dubois might rush his moments at times, and you never know. Parker could over-frustrate Daniel Dubois. And we have seen in Dubois' game before, you never know. Dubois could get a bit dirty at times. But I feel like Parker's going to be good at being able to handle that and possibly catch Daniel Dubois when he is coming in. And I feel like Parker is a bigger guy now, and I feel like Parker's strength is underrated as well when they are in the clinches. Parker's not going to get bullied by Daniel Dubois in the clinches. That's a big thing in my opinion. And obviously, Daniel Dubois' win over Anthony Joshua, which he had in September, his confidence is sky high after that. But I think a big thing, though, is where was Anthony Joshua's jab in that fight? But that's the thing. When Dubois up against someone with a good jab who can control the pace behind the jab, he struggles and he loses. The Joe Joyce fight, the Usyk fight. That's the thing. And from Joshua, once he was able to connect and get his accuracy off, he was able to hurt Daniel Dubois. If you're an accurate puncher, then, like Joseph Parker is, he's going to hurt Dubois. And I feel like Parker is much smarter than what Anthony Joshua is as well when he's in there. He's got a better boxing IQ than Anthony Joshua. I think overall, Joseph Parker's probably got the second best boxing IQ that Daniel Dubois has fought. So that's Usyk at number one. And I think that is going to be... I feel like it's going to be a problem for Dubois. I feel like Parker's got a bad style for him. I feel like the style that beats Daniel Dubois is, a smart boxer who's calculated in there. And that's what Joseph Parker is. So, I think Joseph Parker's going to win this fight. Anyway, I'm going to end this here. Thank you all for watching, and I will speak to you all in the next one. But, this is going to be interesting. Thanks for watching.